Hello, Mishpacha. It's Courtney, America's Jewish mother.
Hey, book friends, Lindsay here. We are here to announce to you a special December gift book exchange project that we're so excited about.
Yes, so Lindsay and I decided to do a holiday book exchange that coincides with the 8 nights of Hanukkah, since I am America's Jewish mother.
I couldn't think of a span of dates more fitting. So we're going to be opening one book per day, December 11th through December 18th. And then we're going to film it and upload it. So you'll get a little, I don't know, minute or two or three or however chatty and blabby we get video each day from December 11th through 18th.
It's almost like Vlogmas, but shorter.
Oh my gosh. And we only have to do it for 8 days. You get a special Vlogmas bonus in your Vlogmas to watch later subscription list. So let's see, what did we decide to do? We decided to choose 6 books from the other person's TBR. That way we knew they've already self-selected it, they want to read it. And then we each have chosen 2 books for the other person that we think they will like.
And we should know, because we've known each other for a number of years now.
Yes. So we thought we would just do a little chat with you all about a little bit about ourselves. If you're new to my channel, or if you're new to Courtney's channel, or if you're not new, if you know both of us and you want to know more about us. So we are in real life friends. And we were just chatting before we started this recording that we both went to Auburn University for graduate school, and you went there for actually your master's first and then your PhD, right?
Right.
So then when was the year that you started?
So I started Auburn in 2010.
Okay. And I started, I think, in 2011 after I finished my master's from another program. And then we were trying to figure out when we actually became friends, like which year.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was sometime around when we were studying for comprehensive exams, because we figured out we had overlap in some of our areas.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that was around 2013 or 14?
Trying to remember when I took my comps.
I think I took them in 2014.
I know I have a photo somewhere of me with the paper. Like,
yeah, same.
I'm excited that I passed. But I don't remember what that was. So basically, we've been in real life friends for like 7 years. Should we go with that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds reasonable.
Something like that. At least 7 years, which is awesome. And we were originally going to go see each other. Well, I was going to go visit Courtney in Georgia in August. And then COVID happened. And obviously that trip didn't happen. So we were trying to think of a way to just, I mean, we read books a lot together. We chat on Voxer and on text. And so we wanted to do a fun book gift exchange. And we thought this would be a fun way to bring holiday cheer, since we can't actually in real life see each other. And I just wanted to give a shout out to a few booktubers who actually inspired my idea of wanting to do a book exchange. Krista at Books and Jams, Lindsay at Lindsay's Little Library, and Sarah at Sarah's Nightstand. They've been doing a 3-way gift book exchange for the past 2 or 3 years, I want to say. So I will link them down below in my description box if you're interested in their book exchange. So thank you, Sarah, Lindsay, and Krista, for the inspiration. Okay, do you want to tell us, Courtney, about this holiday tradition of Hanukkah? Like, how do you celebrate these 8 days? What is that all about?
Yes, so basically Hanukkah, even though it falls close in proximity to Christmas, is not the same level of seriousness for Jews as Christmas is for Christians. Hanukkah is a very chill, relaxed holiday in that you don't have to do a lot to celebrate it.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. So basically, you just have to light the menorah each night. And I will actually also do a video. I might attach it to the first one of these gift exchange videos of me actually lighting the menorah and doing the blessings on the first night. So you'll see that later. But yeah, so basically you just light the candles each night. So you start with one and then successively it goes on to 8 candles. And traditionally you also eat foods that are made with oil to celebrate or to sort of commemorate the miracle of Hanukkah, which is this oil that they allegedly only had enough to last for one day, lasted for 8 days until they could get more oil. So you eat stuff like latkes, which are basically sort of potato pancakes. In Israel, they eat something called sufganiyot, which are like fried jelly donuts. And people also traditionally play with, or kids usually play with a dreidel, which is a little 4-sided top. And you usually play with like little chocolate coins. And that's pretty much it. It's among the most chill holidays in my religious traditions.
There's no repentance or major self-reflection.
No, we saved that for, actually, we already did that earlier in the year. So Lindsay, what about you and your holiday traditions?
So I grew up Catholic. My family is Catholic. Mostly that's on my dad's side. My mom's side is more Episcopalian, I think, but we're not super religious in my family. My grandparents were very religious. They would go to mass every Sunday. And then when I would spend Christmas with them, my grandmother whose parents came here from Italy, definitely my grandfather's parents came here from Italy. I know more about my grandfather's side. So she would always make a lot of Italian food for Christmas. So her sort of signature dish is manicotti, or as Americans say, manicotti.
I've definitely said that before.
Yes. Which is a homemade crepe. It's a thin crepe, and then it's rolled with another ricotta cheese, or as we would say in my family, ricotta, with lots of herbs and things, and then she'd homemade her own red sauce. So we would do that. We usually go to like the Christmas Eve, like midnight mass, which I always thought was fun when I was little, because then I could stay up late and like go out in I don't know, it was cold out, and go to mass. But yeah, we would have like the Christmas presents, the tree, that whole, which I think is like kind of an Americanized version of Christmas at this point. But now that my grandparents aren't living anymore, we're not really religious at all. Like, we'll use it as an opportunity to get together with family, and sometimes we will still make some of my grandmother's signature dishes like pizzelles or manicotti, but we don't go to mass anymore or practice religiously. So now it's just sort of a cultural family holiday for us.
So it's almost like Hanukkah in that you've made it largely food-based.
Yes, it's very food-based. I was reading something like years ago that there's some winter tradition in maybe one of the Scandinavian countries where they get a bunch of, like, they gift each other a book on Christmas Eve, and then they just read the book all night until it's Christmas.
Oh, that's so awesome. Why don't we do that right here?
Because we would always like give each other a gift on Christmas Eve, or unwrap our like family gifts or whatever, and then wait till Santa comes to give us the gifts on Christmas Day. But that sounds like a better tradition, having a book. Yeah. Okay, and then last thing we thought we would share with you all in this little announcement chat is the kind of books that we each enjoy reading that you might see in our book exchange. So how would you classify your style, or what are the things that you really like to read?
So I mostly read what people refer to as literary fiction. And certainly, anybody who watches my channel has heard me talk a lot about African American authors and Jewish American authors. Those were both areas of study for me in graduate school, and are areas that I focus on in my research now, and also just are of interest to me. So certainly I read a lot of those kinds of authors. Also like to occasionally read a nice cozy mystery, or I do have this one spy thriller series that I have been working through slowly over time. Oh, and poetry, of course. So
yeah.
What about you, Lindsay?
I would also say that you read a good amount of nonfiction. Like, you read more nonfiction than I do.
Yeah, that's actually weird. I feel like I've read more nonfiction since I started BookTube than I read before I started BookTube. So,
yeah. So my background is in literature of the African diaspora. So I read a lot of African American literature, particularly of women writers. And I would say I read like over 90% women writers, just period. No matter the genre or the topic, I just mostly read women writers. I do read some Caribbean writers. So just thinking of the diaspora, I do like to read some African writers as well. I like anything that's got like a feminist bend to it. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I read a lot of literary fiction. I'm starting reading some romance because Cousin has been helping me and some other booktubers have been recommending things. So I'm actually reading a romance right now, historical romance. I do like historical fiction. And I also like to do like mystery series just because those are kind of a nice in between literary fiction because that can be really heavy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm reading more nonfiction now that I'm on BookTube because other people are recommending things, but I'm a really slow nonfiction reader and I don't really love reading nonfiction, but I love learning all the things I learn from nonfiction, if that makes sense. Like fiction, I just find to be beautiful. I love words and language and the magic of imagery and when writers can just make words just be so beautiful and amaze me and make me feel emotions that I don't really feel that way with nonfiction, but I do think it's good for my education.
I kind of feel the way you just said about fiction, about poetry.
Yeah. Yeah, I do read some poetry, but I don't think I'm as into poetry as you are. Like you are always looking for poetry collections, and I remember when you were visiting and we were in Powell's and you just wanted to live in the poetry aisles in Powell's.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think both of the books I bought at Powell's were poetry collections.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert, there is at least one poetry collection coming to you in the book exchange this week. So
I'm excited.
I knew that about you and I made a choice around that.
Well, should I give a spoiler for yours?
Sure.
Okay. So I included among the 8 books, there are 7 women writers.
Yeah.
I know you mostly read women. Yeah. And there's only one nonfiction too. So
okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Anything else we want to tell the BookTube people?
Thanks for watching. Follow along if you'd like. We'll be doing this again starting on December 11th, once a day through December 18th. So yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone. And bye, friend.
And until next time, would it kill you to call you mother?